Well, if you've ever asked, can you hear me now, or ducked into a Starbucks for the Wi-Fi and not the lattes, listen up. My next guest wants to build out wireless internet and cell service in New York subways, car services, and eventually taxis, among many other projects. He joins us as part one of a three-day series that we're calling Startup USA, looking at venture capital money right here, right now. Alex Mashinsky is the CEO of GroundLink, joining us now, and also you're in very many venture capital funds, but for now we'll identify you as the CEO of GroundLink because I know that's your biggest project, and this is what you're talking about, which is basically creating having ground transportation services be sort of like Wi-Fi hotspots, right? Is that essentially it? Okay.
Yes, we provide ground transportation services worldwide, and we've recently blanketed New York basically with free Wi-Fi. We just announced a few days ago that we provide free Wi-Fi on the planes, so 3,000 flights a day through a partnership with GoGo. So you can basically leave your office, be plugged in the car, have power in the car, have Wi-Fi, get on the plane, land. For
that
some
probably
people,
sounds like heaven to some business users, and including me. It'd be great. Okay, but for you as a venture capitalist, how difficult was it for you, or is it for you, to raise money for a venture like this? Let's say compared to 5 years ago or whatever.
Well, this is my 7th startup, so I've raised over $200 million, and I can tell you this is the most difficult time I've ever had to raise money. Over 200, I presented to over 200 companies to date. And luckily we've got several term sheets and we're about to close around, but it was definitely the most difficult time.
And why was that? I mean, obvious answer would be the financial crisis, but why exactly?
Well, I think, excuse me, I think the United States traditionally was the world leader in risk taking, and I think we're now in the middle of this great divide, where on one side everybody's afraid of a double dip recession, and then on the other side there's tremendous opportunities to make investments, and venture is not necessarily the best place to put money. That's the problem.
Well, and have you had to put up more of your money to get others on board?
That's correct. And when Ford debt is trading at 15 cents on the dollar, risky venture looks like not a great investment. So,
well, how much more have you had to put up? Can you say?
Millions of dollars.
Okay, for every venture that you've tried.
For every venture, luckily, like the system in the subways that we talked about, we've had to fund that for several years. GroundLink we've had to fund for several years. Luckily, GroundLink is a profitable company. It's cash flowing. So, And how much were you asking for GroundLink? We're raising $20 million.
Okay, all right. But eventually you did get the investors on board.
Yes.
Okay. And Alex, because it's rare to talk to somebody who does invest in a lot of these types of new companies. You have said yourself that you kind of wished you had gone into Google, right? You learned from some of your mistakes.
Yes.
And some are saying, what's the next Facebook? What's the next Twitter?
Right. The good news is that the internet is only in the first or second inning. So there's complete reinvention of the entire industry, and I think just like you probably would not invest in Facebook because you would think that MySpace just owns a category, and here comes a new player that completely reinvents what's going on. I think that the same thing will happen to every part of the industry, because the internet reinvents everything. So there's tremendous amount of opportunities to re-engineer, re-optimize everything that's going out there.
So you're looking for your next Facebook then?
I'm definitely, right now I'm focused on GroundLink because I think it's a multi-billion-dollar opportunity, but there's definitely an opportunity out there for entrepreneurs to come up with new ideas and reinvent the world. Oh, the internet is so full of ideas, so there's never any shortage of that. That's Alex, for sure. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it. That was Alex Mashinsky, the CEO of GroundLink.